Welcome to Project Eden for Empyrion Galactic Survival, and we're starting on top of the capital vessel, watching the sunrise on the horizon. It's quite a spectacular view, and I think Elion have done a pretty remarkable job of improving the graphics, especially if I cast my mind back to when I first started playing, when the graphics were crude, to put it politely. And what I want to do in this part is take the Scar Raider out and get used to using it and probably explore some of the local planets. But before that, I need to cover a couple of things. The first thing is a big thank you for all comments and feedback. I had a couple of interesting comments related to shipbuilding and possibly a way of joining these two ships together. So I thought I'd spend a little bit of time talking about what I have in mind. And so I thought what I'll do is I'll spend a little bit of time talking about what I've got in mind. But first, somebody asked me a question about whether all the landing pads have to be engaged when you dock. And the way that the docking actually works is all you need is one landing pad to connect up two ships. The other main rule is the fact at the moment the ship that's docking in can't have any other ships docked to it. At the moment you can only have like a star effect with all the docked ships working off a central ship. And another thing that came up in the comments was the fact that of docking behind, and I've actually put the Scar Raider behind the capital vessel just to give you an idea of how it could work. And I think it would, but what I'd have to do is change the front of the Raider and possibly put a landing pad here so that it would butt up against here. And then somebody actually made a very good suggestion about how to get the positioning right, because one of the problems with docking two capital vessels, if you watch the previous video you'll be aware of this, is visibility. And what someone suggested was using the ranging sight that was used by the dam busters. Now, if anyone's not familiar with this story, is dam busters goes back to the Second World War when RAF bombers actually attacked dams in Germany. And one of their problems was that they had to drop the bombs at a very precise location. These were the famous bouncing bombs. And what they actually came up with was a very simple solution. And that is that it was a Y-shaped gun sight where what you did is they lined up on the two towers of the dam, and as soon as the gun sight lined up the two towers, they knew the exact distance they were away from the dams, and that was the point to drop the bombs. And that does make sense with respect to this, because if say if I had a couple of antennas on each side and then I put a couple of marks on the cockpit of the ship, if we came in level, then once the two marks on the cockpit of the ship lined up, then that would tell me exactly how far I was away from the docking point. Another adaptation would be is to create a slight V shape so that the ship arriving would be and be able to maneuver into the docking point. I mean, especially with the Scar Raider here, because it's got a very kind of shaped front. And I think this now leads into something that I'm kind of been working towards, and because while I like the ships in the workshop, I just like to evolve my ships over the course of a game, especially the mothership. And when I mean the mothership, I'm talking about the capital vessel here. Part of what I've been exploring going forward is that the next series will be Reforged Eden when the update drops. And of course, with Reforged Eden, they have a completely different approach to building, and there's limitations on the size of the ships that you can build due to the way that the volume and weight of the blocks have been changed. And what that means is that there's a far more focus on specialized ships, which then brings this concept of a mothership into context, because you may need like specialist mining ships, patrol ships, and of course attack CVs. So this is what I'm working towards, is like having a central ship. And like at the moment, this capital vessel can still land on planets, but what I'd like to do eventually is get it to a point where it'd be too big to land on a planet. Of course, then that then triggers, as somebody pointed out in the comments, about defense. And what I'm thinking is that long term, it may not happen in this series, but this is going to be my approach going forward in the future, is that if I come in the map here, if we look at the solar system here, what I'm thinking is when I start exploring the galaxy in future series, the mothership will come in and stay in orbit around the moon, because that's a relatively safe zone. So it doesn't need really heavy armor. Then what we can do then is disengage ships like the Scar to actually do the active patrols. So that's part of what I'm thinking going forward. Well, not for this series, but it's something where I'd like to get to. But what I've been doing is kind of working on potential designs, because the real concept I like is the idea of starting out having a starter ship and then evolving it right through into the full-size mothership. And then ships like the Scar could come in from the workshop. Although I have to admit, I really like Jeff Randall's work, but one thing I don't like so much about some of his builds is the extra bits that he tacks on. If you compare the two ships, I tend to be very utilitarian in the way I build ships. I like relatively clean lines, but at the same time, I don't like ships with lots and lots of bits tacked on the side. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to what you actually like. But I do like the quality of Jeff Randall's build, so I'm quite happy to put up with his approach to life. Now, the next thing I want to show you, and you've probably got an idea, is that off camera I've explored this planet. It wasn't very big, and these areas where it's there, I actually explored it with a Scar just to get used to flying it. So I know that there's probably not anything in this area because of the range of the scanner. But what I did find was another unfinished escape rocket, and attached to it, I think behind over there, is a smaller version. So before we go out and do some exploration, what I'm going to do is I just want to show you a couple of things. We'll just go in this way. Thrust out. We're only out of fuel. We need to fix that. What I have done also is I've spread around some of my fuel and resources between the two ships, and I've also moved all the fresh food into the Scar, because what I'm going to do is power off the CV. Where's general supplies? There it is. I think we're just drop some of those in there. In fact, I think I will power the ship off now. I mean, this is a relatively safe planet. I'm not worried about the plants growing. Yes, thank you, game. Oops, what happened there? I seem to be in the middle of the ship. I've had a couple of those glitches recently. I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. I have been checking out these small bases around here as well for resources. I actually found an oxygen store as well while I was exploring, which gave me a big pile of oxygen to go forward. So we're just going to come over here, and I'm just going to do this the quick way. If you want to know where the core is for here, if you approach from this side, if you look at the right hand tower, and we'll just use the Gatling gun actually, just do it a bit quicker. Like, you come down quite low in here, blast that way, you just see the core's just in there. Now, I'll be honest, it's not really worth actually coring this, but you can get some power from here. 2074. We got 69 small containers there. In fact, if I hook to there, I'll just put that in there. Oops, I still didn't do the hook. And what we can do is just take some of these, salvage out these fuel cells for the resources. I'm not sure, I don't think there's any more up here. Nope, there's, get out the way there. There's some more in here that you can get. So again, if you're doing one of these barren planet starts, finding this is quite a valuable resource. So we got that there. I'll just pick the antenna. Now, actually, let's just back into the SV now. Now, this small ship only has a few thrusters on it. It's got a couple of loot boxes inside, so if we kind of get up nice and close down a bit, jump out. Come to there. Where is it? Control panel, turn the power off. Let it drop down again. It will drop down, I think. Okay, what we're gonna have to do is go and get another ship to be able to get in closer. So I'm just gonna have to go and we could go and get the Scar, and we can nudge it off. It's kind of got stuck up on the tail of that ship. Power on. Wait, cut it out. Right, back to where we were. I'll just pull away a bit. Go into a lot of effort just to get a few things out of the loot boxes here, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And what we'll do is we'll just salvage these loot boxes. And if you're really quick when you've got loot boxes like this, you can actually catch them loot boxes before they actually fall, like that. And what we'll do is we're going to actually hook to the Scar Raider. What I'd like to do is actually just pull out these thrusters. I'm going to salvage them because I'll get some resources from this. And I think there's a couple there. If I remember correctly, there should be a couple more underneath which we can get out. And there. And that is about it for that. I mean, there's plenty of steel blocks. Now, the other thing I want to show you before we leave is back over here. Now, if you watched the previous video when I was talking about looting down this unfinished ship, what I mentioned is in these side thrusters here, if I come in here, what you'll see is there's 4 of them, and each one of them have got a whole stack of power cells in here as well. And I'll just take out a couple. When I've got lots of looting to do, this is what I tend to do sometimes. I just kind of take out alternative ones. This is how I got rid of the big stack later, when in the area over here, where we got the really big stacks that kind of come in here. So if you come in here, you can just grab the odd one, and then it just makes it a little bit easier when you're working from the ship. So yeah, we're not here to talk about salvaging techniques. I mean, what I will do is I'll be working on that sometime in the future. But what I want to do now is get back to the Scar, if I can find it on the map here. Just come in here. Turn all the power off, actually. Yes, I know. Don't tell me. Actually, did I? So what we're going to do now is just get into here. You can see I've also planted up the farm here. We're not going to bother picking the vegetables. I've got loads and loads of food. I've also put in took out 2 cargo boxes. I've put a med bay over here, which I suppose we could use. And I've also put an oxygen tank up here, as was suggested in the comments, that one of the problems with really big ships is that certain things like med bays and oxygen tanks can be a little bit of a pain trying to always go back to them, so it does pay to scatter them around. And I'll just get the ship away, get there. And I mean, one thing about this Scar Raider compared to the other ship is you can see how floaty it feels. It's got a lot more power, and I found that when I was exploring the planet, I was kind of overcompensating. This is the reason why I want to do a few missions in this system, just to get a feel for the ship itself before we actually go and get into any real mischief, is probably the polite way of saying it. So we're up in space here, probably a few people around. I don't really want to operate here. What I'd like to do is explore another planet. We've been to what's it, Manupu 5. I mean, I am really interested in that moon, but what have we got over here? We've got a very large planet there. We've got this one here. I think this is just the moon, varnished barren moon. Yeah, interesting. Copper-rich moon with very thin atmosphere, shielded with unusually large magnetic field nearby. There, the moon is close enough. This is hot desert planet scorched with proximity to the parent star. How about that? Let's go to the Black Desert. In fact, the Black Desert could be where the Black Pyramid is. So we're going to go to Anupu 3 if we can find it. We're just going to go off here. It'd be really great to find a Black Pyramid. Of course, what I'd like to do is get the shields on. So there's a few hostiles around. What have we got in this system? There's, oh, look at that, copper, titanium, zirconium, and pentaxid. We've got 2 moons. I think it's going to be worth exploring this area. Is there anything, doesn't look like there's any asteroids close by. We're going to go for the planet first and take it from there. It looks like there's a few bases on this planet as well, and either that or the bases are the other side of the planet. So here we are, we've just got through the atmosphere. Let's level the ship off. So we've got thunderstorms here, that's going to be fun. It looks a pretty... I don't think they were kidding when they said that this was going to be a... anything. What we got here? This is, wow, it's a massive... we got 24 promethium. Certainly wouldn't mind that. Neodymium, yes. Pentaxid, 87 pentaxid. Oh, yes, we need that pentaxid. So something tells me that we might be here for a little while. Right, there's something in that direction. So we're going to go off in that direction and see what we can find. I would really like to leave this planet with a big stockpile of pentaxid and promethium. Simply because, I say, as already said, this ship can be very heavy on fuel. In fact, somebody actually posted a comment, sorry for getting way on here. Somebody asked why I don't refine the promethium and the pentaxid. Well, the promethium is, I don't refine it into pellets simply because I just forget. But the pentaxid, I like to keep it in raw form, because if you come here, you see that pentaxid gets turned into elemental pentaxid and refined pentaxid. Elemental pentaxid is actually needed for especially CV ammunition. Let me just see where it is here. You can see here this laser charge CV. So it pays to keep your pentaxid raw, so that you don't, because otherwise if you converted it all to say ordinary pentaxid, then things could get a little bit intriguing. Kind of not seeing anything. We got something over there. I've got absolutely no idea what that is. We're already firing at this. But we got oh, okay, we might be... all these weapons. I think I'm wasting my ammunition on this. Let me just pull away a bit. I think we'll go in with the SV and check that out. I've got absolutely no idea what a watchtower is, but we'll take a look. I might need to check the weapons settings. I was a little bit worried about nothing was actually firing. The pulse layer, turrets. Well, everything looks good. Okay, we're just going to park here. Turn the thrusters off. Let's just get up onto the roof and get the SV and see what we can do. The outside temperature 84, 83 degrees Celsius. Power on. I don't like this idea where it keeps firing everything. Let's just wait for the shields to build up a bit. One thing I did forget to do is I forgot to bring the hover tank with me. This would be an ideal planet to practice. This is a void watchtower. Not exactly too sure what a void is, but it's a slight weakness in your design, guys. Probably even sneak down and loot those, actually. Yeah, there's a slight weakness in the design of this tower because it doesn't seem to have the ability to depress the turrets. So just take this, move round to there's the other side. There's an entrance there. You might be able to take them from without even to... Hello, guys. The other one's still in here as well. You can see him. There he is. Get a little bit better visibility here. Park here. I think we're safe. Famous last words. I get killed about 15 times. Actually, ammunition wise, how much ammunition have I got? Oh, need that. We need to dump off some of this stuff. I'm a bit overloaded. Could have offloaded this before. Okay. So we've got a door here. Let's just turn the light on. So we're going through here. Oh, just looking at that, thinking, what's missing? Because it's the really do need some better. There's something up that way. Let me just stand back here. We might be able to blast through with this. Reload. We got in here as some loot boxes. Nothing particularly great, but we'll take it anyway. One thing I am considering is actually setting up a deconstructor base before we leave that other planet, so that I can, because I've got some scrap which is pretty heavy. Plus, I think if we can deconstruct some of this, we might get some more base materials. Right, let's see if we can reload. Oh. This just comes up to the top. Gotcha. It's just there's a turret right at the top. Wow. This could be interesting. Let me just get back to the fridge. We need some food anyway. Have we got anything here that... Okay. Didn't really put on much health here. I just pushed my health back up again. Didn't realise it got that low. I think just to be on the safe side. That turret's right at the top there. I'll get to it. This, like this, is, as you can see it. Now we're not getting up high enough and he's killing me. Right, we're going to have to do it the other way. I didn't really want to do this, but whoops. Not doing very well here at the moment. I'm assuming that it's the core is going to be at the top. Thrusters on. One down. Down. Let's go to green actually. Hello guys. Let's just give the railgun a go. Normal light. I can hear lots of bug uglies. Below us. Okay, we've got an automatic door there. I think it's probably going to be a whole swarm of them, so I'm just going to get back to green. Use the Gatling gun to blow the door open. Hello. That's probably the turret that was killing me at the all the way up. So let me just get in here now. It's almost like there's something below us that's... no, we'll turn the thrusters off. We should be okay. Back to this. Yeah, so it's got to be... There it is. So we're going to have to... Could be interesting. I think probably the best way to do this is to shoot from below. Guys, anyone around? Yeah, these are level 6. Oh well, we'll just do that. Oh, it's a nice little lot here. We'll take that. So we've now got control of this floor. Eat that as well for a little bit more health. So we've got to go around there. No two station blocks to have a faction. That's good. Can't see any cores or anything around here. Going to use some of my health drinks to take my health back up again. Wonder a little bit about my armor actually. Let me just. Oh, my armor's not very good. I think it will be good enough to finish this off. So. Do a quick reload. Right, this is out that way. We've got some mechs in there, which could be a bit of a problem. That was one shot and he took me down. Okay, up. These guys aren't messing about. Let's just check the armor again. You just offload this into the in the fridge. I think we're gonna have to use the two shots. Now I've got a problem. No, I haven't. Fall onto the scar, so to bring it in closer, because we've taken out the exterior defenses now. So, and the thrusters on. Please, I don't want you wasting all your ammunition on that. So you can just park there. A little bit of a risk because we will, if anything turns up, the ship won't be able to defend itself, but that's okay. This ship must have an armor locker on it somewhere. I'm just going to have a look around to see if I can find an armor locker. It's probably the easiest ways to do this, but I'll see once I actually found out if there is one on the ship. Actually, two of them on the ship. So, got an armor locker. I walk straight past it. So if it's just here. My current armor is, when we don't have a probably actually, do we have a repair bay in here? Repair station, good. Right. What we're gonna do is gonna take that armor off very quickly. And I'm going to try and find the repair station. Armor locker, keep that on. Right, it says the repair station is here. Put that in there. Air it. Get back up again. To the armor locker. Get here. The armor back on. That gives me, you can see the durability's dropped, but simply because I've had to repair the ship, but that's okay. And what we've got to do is go all, actually, can't reach the ship. What's that there? kind of having a bit of a problem coming all the way up here. This is a long way up. If we get out here, what I should be able to do now is go back down and try and find my what we call it. Right, my backpack is just over here. I've got it. Too late. Right, we've got the epic plasma rifle. And we're just going to get down. So you, anybody else in here? You. Can't hit it. We should be able to get it with the sniper rifle. We get any food? Back of pizza. Large constructor in here. We've got some power. I think we're shoot this the length of the room so we can retreat. There's some more guys in here. Loot box here. We'll just take that. Anything else here? Nope. Yeah. Reload. Yeah, you're not going to do it to me again. Once you get your eye in, you turret up. Teach you to look up, won't it? Yeah, I think repairing the armor is making a big difference now. Right, it looks like we've got what we should be able to do is you can damage them through the wall, but just make sure we're fully loaded, because he's going to come at us big time once we get through this thing. So make sure everything is loaded. He's loaded. Okay, we're going to kind of do it a slightly cheaty way. And kind of take him down a little bit. Assume he was a void overseer. Got a buddy over there. Any turrets? Oh, I'll take the pentaxid, and of course the repair bay we can go put in there. Well, actually what I'll do is I'll keep them now for what we call it, for the deconstruction base. Right, so it says we got another one here. Oops, don't want to change it with multi-tool. Reload. How many more doors have we? I must have gone all the way round this base here. We've got some kind of like. We could have come in this way. Now the question is there a core here? Let me just see if I can find the core. See what's down here. There's the cork. We found it. We got kind of a room here. Let me just see what. Just salvage. That's the generator. These are fuel tanks. 273. We'll take whatever we can get. I'm not proud, and because everything is black down here, I can't see a thing. I think that's in the way, so yeah. And that is a void watchtower. Pretty interesting. Not a vast amount of loot, I must admit, but it was interesting. And a little bit of a challenge, especially that tall tower up the front there. Probably take that out. Whoops. Let me just see. That there. Just offload all this stuff. I'm not exactly sure where that meat came from, but we'll take it. Just hook that up there. Yeah, very interesting. So it's literally you come up, work your way around the rooms here, and out the other side. I'd be quite intrigued to see whether there's any hidden loot boxes in here, but well, as I say, what we'll do is we'll just go round. And actually, we need to go up, don't we? The SV's on the top. So probably the easiest way is to take it down with the turrets at the top. This is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I might do off camera is a little bit more exploration. It's quite interesting, and see what we can find on this planet. I've got a feeling that we may get some fairly interesting stuff on here, and one thing I would like is the Black Pyramid. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.